Hello students, I am Mr. Rohan Chogle, and today again we are going to continue with the types of data structure. As in previous lecture we have seen the different types of data structure available, and also we have studied the basic definition of data structure. That is, data structure, it is nothing but it is a logical or mathematical model of a particular organization of data. This is nothing but data structure. And again we have studied the different types. It is primitive, non-primitive data structure. In that we have seen linear and non-linear. So in this video lecture we are going to study the data structure available, okay, or types of data structure one by one. So let's start with the first data structure or type of data structure is array. So what is array? So normally array, or when we call array, that is, array is nothing but it is a linear array, and that linear array is nothing but it is a list of a finite number of similar types referenced respectively by a set of n consecutive numbers. It means that it is an array where a finite number of similar data types are stored. Remember, finite number of similar data types are stored and they have n consecutive numbers. Okay, that is, indexing is given to that each data type stored in that array. So this is a simple definition for linear array. So in next slide we have one simple example for that. So you will understand what is the definition of array. So in this case, just consider that, okay, just consider that A is a array. Okay, so A is a name of array. Then the elements which we have stored in that array are denoted by the different notations. So we have first notation, that is subscript notation, that is A1, A2, A3 up to AN. Then second one is parenthesis notation, that is A1, that we have written in parenthesis, so that's why it is called as parenthesis notation. And last one is bracket notations, where we have used a square bracket to denote that notation. Okay, so A1, A2, A3. So three different notations are used to, okay, so in array we use the three different notations, right? So this is a simple definition and notations used in array. So here we have one simple example. Just look over here. As I said, array, in array we store finite number of similar data types. So here if we see this diagram, so this is an array by the name student. So student is the name of array, and that array contain the name of the students. Okay, so all data where we have stored, in this case it is of type string or character. All strings we have stored over here. So similar types of data is stored in this array. And here we have seen that these types are referenced respectively by a set of n consecutive numbers. So here if you see, n consecutive numbers are given over here. That means indexing is given over here. So this is called as indexing. So student is the name of array. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the indexing of that array. Remember that in case of array, indexing always start with the 0. Okay, and here we have stored the elements of same data type. So this is an array. So in simple way you can also say that array is a continuous memory allocation of same data type. So here, as we have studied the notations, here I have used the bracket notation. So suppose if you want to access these elements which are stored in array, so how we are going to access these elements? So we are going to access these elements with the help of that notation. So here I have used the bracket notation. Now suppose I want to access this John. So how we are going to access this John? So simple, just look over here, that we have to use the array name student, and in the square bracket we have to mention the index. So student 0, what it indicates? Student 0, it indicates John. Then student 1, okay, student in square bracket 1, what it indicates? It indicates Brown, right? So if I write student in square bracket 2, then it indicates Tom, and so on. Likewise we can access the elements which are stored in array. Okay, so this is a simple example of array. Hope you understand the concept of array. Next, we'll go to the next type, that is linked list. Okay, so before going in detail with the linked list, just consider one simple example, so we'll come to know the concept of linked list. Now here consider one simple example of a firm, and that firm maintain a file where that record contain customer name and his or her salesperson. So we have salesperson and their customer list. So here in the tabular format I have stored the customers and salesperson. The first column indicates the customer name and second bracket indicates the salesperson. So for Adam, salesperson is Smith. For Brown, Ray is a salesperson. For Clark, Jones is a salesperson. For again Drew, Ray is a salesperson. So similarly, customers and salespersons are there. So we can store the data of customer and their respective salesperson in this manner. But in this case, there is some issues, that is while accessing the elements, that is suppose we want to access the customer name of the salesperson Ray. So in that case it is quite difficult to handle the data. So in that case we have another way to store the data. So in this case we can store the same data using separate array for the salesperson and the entry in customer file which gives the location of each customer's salesperson. For in this case what we have done, we have taken one separate array. So this is an array by the name salesperson, and it contains the three salesperson Jones, Ray and Smith. So we have taken this example in different manner. So these three salespersons are there, Smith, Ray and Jones. So here we have again written the same salesperson Jones, Ray and Smith. Again if we look at this first table, here only customer names are there, and in the second column instead of writing the salesperson name, what we have written, we have used the pointers. So here in this case Jones is at first place, Ray is at second place, Smith is at third place. So as we see over here, Adam's salesperson is Smith. So here what we have written, instead of writing the name, we have written the pointer. So Smith, so his Adam's salesperson is Smith. So in this second array, Smith is present at third location. So we have simply written the third. Okay, 3 over here. Then for Brown, if you look over here, Ray is a salesperson. So here what we have written, here we have written the index number of that salesperson, that is 2. For clerk we have salesperson Jones. So Jones present at first location, so we have written 1 over here. Then for Drew salesperson is Ray. So we have written Ray's index, that is Ray's index is 2, so we have written the 2. So similarly 3 points to the Smith, then 2 points to the Ray, 1 points to the Jones, again 2 points to the Ray. Likewise we have written the pointers of the salesperson. So this is one way to write the same data. Okay, so we have another way. Here in this case what we have done, so just look over here. So in this case we have simply written the customer names, right? This is a name of the customer. Again in the separate, again we have used the second table where we have used the salesperson and pointer. So Jones pointer is 3, not pointer, I will explain this later. So Jones present at first location, Ray is at second, Smith is at third location. Okay, so here just look at the first table and second column. Here I have written the link. So what that link indicates, so here in this case just look over here. So first just consider the example of Ray. So in this case in the first table Ray is a salesperson for Brown, then Drew, then Giller, and then Infield. For these 4 person, Ray is a salesperson, right? So here Ray's first customer is Brown. So in this case, what we have done, so Ray, in front of Ray we have written the 2. What this 2 indicates? 2 is a number of customer or index of customer. So Ray's first customer is Brown. So Brown is Ray's first customer. So here I have written the 2. So what this 2 indicates? 2 points to the Brown. Okay, after Brown or in front of Brown I have written the 4. What the 4 indicates? If you look over here, after Brown, Drew is Ray's customer, right? So that Drew's index number is 4. So that's why after Brown the customer is Drew. So I have written the 4. That is index of this Drew. It is 4. Then after Drew I have written the 7. What 7 indicates? The 7 indicates the Giller. Okay. So after Giller I have written the 9. What 9 indicates? 9 indicates or 9 points to the Infield, and after and in front of 9 or sorry in front of Infield I have written the 0. What 0 indicates? 0 indicates null. That is, this one is the last customer of Ray. So here Ray points to the 2. 2 is the index of Brown. So and Brown is linked with the 4. At 4th place we have Drew. So Brown is linked with Drew. Drew linked with the 7th location, that is Giller, and Giller is linked with 9, that is Infield, and for Infield we have written the 0. So that means 0 indicates this one Infield is the last customer for Ray. Likewise we can write for Jones, or for consider the for Smith. In front of Smith I have written the 1. So it points to the first location or first index, that is Adams. Adams links with the 5th location. For 5th location we have Evans. It is linked with 8 location. At 8 location we have Hill, and after Hill we have written the 0. That means null. So here customer of Smith are Adams, then at 5th location Evan, and at 8th location Hill. So Adam, Evan and Hill are the customers of Smith. So likewise we can link customer with each other for each salesperson. So this is a concept of linked list. Okay. So here I have written. So here salesperson has pointer which points to his or her first customer. Okay, so here Ray points to 2, that is 2 is the Brown. So Brown is his first customer, whose pointer in turns point to the second customer, and so on with the salesperson last number indicated by 0. Okay, so last customer is indicated by 0. So here in this case for Ray the last customer is Infield, right? So because we have written 0 in front of Infield. Okay, so using this one can easily obtain the entire list of customer for a given salesperson, and this type of representation is nothing but linked list. So here in this case the elements of or the customers of each salesperson are linked with each other, right? So Ray's customer 2 is linked with 4, that is Drew. Drew is linked with 7, that is Giller. Giller is linked with 9, that is Infield. And Infield, in front of Infield we have written 0, that is Infield is last customer for Ray. So this is about the linked list. So I hope you understand the concept of linked list. Next one is tree. So here there are some data where we have to contain the hierarchical relations. So there are some data available. We have one example that so that we can understand the concept of the tree. So basically, now in this case, there are some data that frequently contain hierarchical representation between the various elements, and the data which reflects this type of relationship is nothing but tree, or we can call it as a rooted tree graph. Okay, so data structure that represents hierarchical relationship between the various elements is nothing but tree. So let's see one simple example. So this is a tree. Okay, so just we have considered, just we have to store the information of employee. So the better way to store the information of employee is in tree structure, that is in hierarchical manner. So as we know that employee has social security number, right? So employee has social security number, then employee has name, and again name has first name, last name, first name and middle name. Again it has address, again address has hierarchical relation, that is it has a street. Okay, it has street, then area, again area is divided, area contains city, state and code number, that is zip. Again employee has age, it has salary and it dependents, that is dependents of that employee. So these details of employee we can represent very effectively with the help of hierarchical manner. So we use the tree to represent these details of employee. Again we can use the second, where we can represent the details of employee. Okay, here levels, different levels are used. So employee, here look at this, employee is at first level, then social security number is at second level, whatever written at the second are at the second level, that is social security number, names, address, age, salary, dependents are at second level. So number, if you look over here, the number in front of social security number, name, address, age, salary, dependent is 2, because they are at second level. At third level what we get, last name, middle name, last name, first name, middle name, street, area are at third level. Employee is at first, this is at second, so these elements are at third level, and city, state and zip are at fourth level, right? So the same I have written, employee is at first, social security number, name is at second level. So in name we have again level, that is third level, last name, first name and middle initial, right? And then we have street, in street we have again levels, that is in address we have level, that is street, then area, in area again we have level, city, state and zip, city, state and zip are at fourth level. Okay, so likewise with the help of level we can also represent the details of employee. So this is a simple tree where we get the hierarchical relationship between the elements. Okay, next data type is stack. So what is stack? So stack is also called as last in first out. So which enters last, it comes first, that is last in first out, that is LIFO, last in first out system. Okay, so this is a linear list where insertion and deletion can take place only at one end, and that end is called as top. Okay, so for this, just consider one simple example of stack of dishes. So we have one stack of dishes. Okay, just consider this example. Okay, first A, this is a stack of dishes. So suppose you want to insert one dish. So from top side, this is a top side, from top side only you insert one dish in that stack. And suppose you want to remove one dish, from where you are going to remove that? Again you are going to remove that dish from top side only. So in the case of stack, insertion, so insertion and deletion is carried out from one end, and that end is called as top. That is in this case insertion and deletion is carried out from top only. Right? This is a as I said, a stack is nothing but last in first out, or you can also call it as first in, last out. Sorry, the same I have said, first in, last out, or sorry, this is okay, last in, first out, or we can also call it as a first in, last out. So stack is also called as first in, last out. That is, we have inserted this dish first, we'll remove that dish at the last. So this is the concept of stack. Stack is nothing but last in, first out. Next we have another type, that is queue. What is queue? Queue is called as first in, first out. Okay, so in case of queue, deletion is carried out, or deletion takes place at one end, and that end is called as front, and insertion is carried out at the another end, and that end is called as rear. So deletion is from front and insertion from rear. So for this queue, we have one good example, that is people waiting at the bus stop. Okay, so here just consider one example. So this is the second example, B, queue waiting for bus. Okay, as I said, queue is nothing but, what I said, queue is nothing but first in, first out. So this person which is there at the first place comes first. So that person board to the bus at first, or he will enter into the bus first time. So he comes first, so he enter into the bus first. So first come, first out. And here in this case, so this, when this person enter into the bus, this person is get removed from the queue. And while entering into the queue, you have to enter from rear side only. Okay, so when person enter, that entry side is called as rear side, and person is get out of the queue, that side is called as front side. So in case of queue, insertion is carried out from rear end, this is a rear end, and deletion is carried out from the front end. So this so for the queue, people waiting at the bus stop is the good example. Okay, so this is about the queue. And next one is graph. So what is graph? So there are some cases, or sometimes data contain relationship between pairs of element which is not necessary in hierarchical manner. So there are some data which is not, we cannot represent that in hierarchical manner. So for example, suppose we have to show the relationship between the two cities, that is, we have to show the airline flies between the two cities. So we have to show that, we cannot show that with the help of hierarchical manner. So the data structure which reflect this type of relationship is called as graph. That is, we have to represent, we have to show the airline flies only between the cities connected by the lines. Okay, so that we have to show, and this we cannot show that with the help of hierarchical representation. So for that we have to use some different structure, and that structure is nothing but graph. So let's see one simple example. Now suppose this is a third example of graph, or this is a third diagram which is of the graph. So suppose we have to show the airline flies from Los Angeles to Miami to Chicago to Boston to New York. So how you are going to show this type of structure in hierarchical manner? So it is not possible that to show this airline with the help of hierarchical manner. So to show this, we use the graph structure. So this is a graph structure. From this graph structure, we get the clear idea, that is, flight flies from Los Angeles to Miami. It is aeroplane flies from Los Angeles to Miami. Then also there are flights from Los Angeles to New York. There are flights from Chicago to New York, Chicago to Miami. Then again there are flights from Boston to Philadelphia. Okay, so this particular structure gives the exact relationship between the elements. So that's why there are some situations where we have to use this graph structure. I hope you understand this graph structure. Okay, so these are some types of the data structure. That is, first we have seen the array. So array is a continuous memory allocation of same data type. Then we have seen the linked list, where elements are linked with each other. Then we have seen the tree, where we get the hierarchical representation between the elements. Then we have seen the stack, which gives the, or which is nothing but last in first out. Okay, that is LIFO structure. In case of stack, insertion deletion carried out from one end only, that is from top. And we have seen the example, that is stack of dishes. Then we have seen the queue, where in case of queue, insertion is carried out from the rear end and deletion is carried out from front end. And queue is also called as first in first out. And the example we have seen, the queue for the bus is the example for queue. Again, the last example, last type we have seen, that is graph. So there are some situations where we cannot represent the relationship between the elements with the help of hierarchical manner. So for that case, we use the different structure, and that structure is nothing but graph. So we have seen the example of this graph. Okay, so this is about the types available in data structure. I hope you understand these concepts. Okay, thank you.